Changes to NCAA rules have resulted in major college athletes scoring nearly $160 million a year in benefits. I'm Shannon Ray Green, and I'm here with USA Today sports reporter Steve Berkowitz. Steve, I know you did the analysis for this story. Tell me more about what you found out, and if this amount of money going to college athletes is pretty unprecedented.
Well, it's unprecedented in that this is the first time that the NCAA has allowed college athletes to receive the full cost of attendance as a scholarship limit. Schools aren't being forced to offer this. They can if they want. But this is a big change in the basic construct of what a scholarship is, where you're going from a model that had just room, board, books, tuition, and fees to covering all of the personal and incidental costs of attending college, like transportation, personal expenses. It can cover clothes depending on how schools measure this. So that's one part of it. And then the provision of unlimited food and snacks is also a change in the way the NCAA worked before, where there were a lot of very tight rules about what types of snacks and meals that schools could offer to athletes and the timing under which they could provide them. And it was just, there were a lot of rules that the schools wanted to have sort of deregulated.
Yeah, your story mentioned some concerns about whether unlimited food and snacks would involve a plane flying in lobster from Maine for the night before every game. Now, is there a big concern that schools are going to take it too far?
Yeah, that was kind of an extreme example, but no, I'm not sure that I think the main question is whether or not, if schools want to pay for it, it's trying to give the schools the autonomy to do this. I mean, if a college athletics program and that university wants to pay to do those kinds of things, I think the sort of the thinking now is more of like, okay, well, if you have the money and you want to spend it that way, go ahead and do it. I mean, for sure, there are competitive concerns, as always, throughout college sports, and that's sort of the reason why the NCAA rulebook is as extensive as it is. But there is sort of a change in mindset about this that's evolved over time, in part because of lawsuits and other pressure that's been put on college sports. It's like, okay, if you want to do it that way, go ahead.
All right. Well, last question for you, Steve. What else should people know about this analysis that you put together?
Well, the main thing to keep in mind with regard to cost of attendance is that these figures apply to the entirety of the student body. These are not amounts of money that are developed specific to athletes. They can be done that way, but it would require a lot more work by the schools, and they have to be able to justify this. So the large public policy question is whether or not schools may, over time, choose to raise their cost of attendance limits in a way that results in additional borrowing by all students, and could that put additional pressure on student debt load and things of that nature. And it really remains to be seen how it's going to evolve over time. So this is a story that's going to be going on and going on and going on as we go along in college athletics over the next few years.
As you mentioned, I know you'll keep following the story as it develops. Thank you for sharing your insight with us here. Keep watching for those developments on sports.usatoday.com.